Okay, we are still at day 2 of NDC Oslo. I'm here with Norm Johanson, that's right.
Yeah.
Could you tell a little bit about who you are, what you do, and well, we're going to be talking about AWS Lambda, so you know some stuff about that.
Sure. So I'm a software developer at AWS. I focus a lot on all the .NET tooling at AWS. So that means I do stuff with AWS SDK for .NET, the Visual Studio Toolkit, and I work a lot on the .NET Core Lambda tooling as well.
Yeah, so we saw yesterday in the talk that the AWS tooling for Visual Studio, for especially the functions and everything, is really, really good. Highly impressed by that, so kudos.
Great.
So we got a bunch of questions that I'd like to go over. So first of all, kicking off is like people have been saying to me that like starting up a Lambda with C# because it needs to run .NET takes a long time for the first call. Is it actually true, and if so, what do we need to be careful about?
There's some validity to it. I mean, Node.js is a very fast language to start up. So if you're going to compare to that one, starting up the JavaScript engine is always a much faster thing than starting the .NET Core runtime. But for my testing, you can get it to, for most things, I think it's still very comparable. But it is going to have a slightly longer cold start time. The things to look for to improve that is just to make sure you can reduce the amount of dependencies you need in your project. Right. So you have a smaller bundle, and sort of if there's things that you can do lazily on the initialization to just sort of decrease the amount of stuff you have to do in that cold start. Because a lot of times I see people, what they'll do is they'll include huge frameworks and they'll try to make lots of initialization stuff. And then that is going to affect that cold start time.
Yeah, so the key part is to keep the functions themselves small, keep the work that they do small, and keep their dependency small. I
have found that it is true right now trying to connect to a SQL Server instance is slower because we have to go through a VPC, and there's VPC negotiations that does take extra long. And that's actually true, I think, across all Lambda platforms. So that's why, like in the demo you saw yesterday, I was just hitting DynamoDB, and that was a very fast thing to do. So.
Cool. All right. Cool. And so we're running like simple classes with just one function entry point in AWS Lambda. So how does that work with testing? Because I can imagine that'd be quite easy to unit test, as they're really small already. Right.
That's how we kind of, in those blueprints you saw in the demo yesterday, where I would create a test project. It's always setting up that XUnit project where it's just really easy to set up how you'd write a unit test or integration test. And that's really right now our main strategy for testing things locally is just writing your XUnit and your XUnit integration or unit test. The nice thing when I did the asymmetric core demo was it made it also easy just to run it all locally in IIS and then deploy it there. That definitely made a nice, easy local story for that.
Yeah, exactly. That was a really cool way of bootstrapping that entire project, that you just have the normal startup routine for local running and then the separate function to put it into that.
And that goes back to the first question about startup is I had to be very careful what it is I'm going to initialize in this application. Or if I'm going to do the full stack of lots of things, then that's going to affect that application's cold start time.
Definitely. So are there any advice or any like helpful frameworks that you could use to test like dependencies on maybe Dynamo or something else? Or would it just be like regular unit testing, mock it out?
Right now, I'm looking for people who give me suggestions and stuff. NET Core for Lambda is still fairly new, right? We did it out in November, and we're building out these frameworks, and we're looking to improve all those stories. And local testing is definitely one of those areas where we're looking to improve and make that easier and easier. Which is why out of the gate, we started with creating the XUnit projects and doing the IIS. We want to look better in ways we can help people mock things out and get things done there.
All right, cool. And so, one of the other things that you at least sprung up in my mind is that if I have a function running in production and I know that I'm going to change something because something calling my function adds another property on the event or something like that, how would you go about versioning that? Can we run side by side, or do we need to just give it a different name, or?
You can really do it either way. You could deploy it as two separate functions. You can have, here's the V1 and V2, and you could expose those as a different URL paths in your API gateway. Or in the Lambda object, when you take in that input object, your input, you could have that as a parameter in there and sort of switch it out into which implementation you want to go into.
All right.
So there's nothing like out of the box. It's something you can just set up yourself on how to do it.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much for taking the time to answer these questions for us.
Yeah.
Definitely, if we'll have feedback, we know where to find you.
Yeah.
So we'll happily do that.
Check out that GitHub repository I put on the talk. That's where I do all my work on .NET Lambda. So
cool. I'll definitely share that in the video. So thank you very much, and enjoy NDC further.
Cool. Thanks.
Good.
All right. Enjoy.
Thanks.